Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. This episode, we are returning to the world of Big Finish because in today's episode, I'll be recapping the Four Doctors, which was broadcast in December 2010. I'm recording this episode nearly 15 years later on the 22nd of April 2025. So as I mentioned yesterday's episode, kind of the priority will always be the new episodes, but kind of if I've written all of them caught up, then I'll do some old episodes, which at the moment consists of How I Met Your Mother and Big Finish. I might add a few other bits and pieces as we get down the line, but that's what it is as of recording. But without further ado, I'm just going to get on with it. Here is my recap of the Four Doctors. We start off with the theme tune. Professor Kalinda records her daily log where she mentions a doctor. The Fifth Doctor shows off to his current companions. The Fifth Doctor attempts to explain himself. Kalinda believes that the inner vault is off limits to the Fifth Doctor. The Fifth Doctor meets Kalinda's brother. Kalinda orders Macron to help the Fifth Doctor. Kalinda and her brother reunite. Kalinda's brother convinces Kalinda to let him observe her buildings, as well as keeping her in the dark as to who the enemy is. The Daleks appear. Some Daleks communicate with each other. The Eighth Doctor exits his TARDIS. The Eighth Doctor reunites with Kalinda. Kalinda gives the Eighth Doctor an electric shock. The Eighth Doctor describes the Fifth Doctor's outfit. The Eighth Doctor asks Kalinda to trust him. Kalinda agrees to help the Eighth Doctor. Kalinda recognises Dalek ships. The Eighth Doctor asks Kalinda to activate their defence shield. Kalinda's brother is working with the Daleks. The Daleks attack the buildings where Kalinda, the Fifth and the Eighth Doctors are. Kalinda informs her brother of the Daleks. Kalinda learns of her brother's betrayal. The Eighth Doctor gives Kalinda's brother some advice. Kalinda's brother attempts to explain himself. Kalinda and the Eighth Doctor attempt to have a safe space. Kalinda's brother perceives the Daleks as allies of his. A Dalek exterminates Kalinda's brother. The Eighth Doctor uses a sonic screwdriver to lock a door. Kalinda mentions the Battle of Bajorka. The Eighth Doctor remembers participating in this battle. Someone instructs Macron to do something. Macron agrees. Macron mentions the Doctor. The Fifth and Eighth Doctors communicate with each other. The Eighth Doctor gives the Fifth Doctor some advice with some assistance from Kalinda. The Fifth Doctor works out that the man who's talking to is a future version of himself. The Eighth Doctor attempts to reassure Kalinda. A man delivers a lecture about magnetism. A woman wants a word with Professor Faraday. Lady Cowan wishes Professor Faraday a good night. Toby apologises to Professor Faraday. Professor Faraday convinces Toby to give him some keys. Several glasses are being smashed. Kalinda's brother meets Professor Faraday. Kalinda's brother corrects Professor Faraday. Kalinda's brother mentions special weapons Daleks. Kalinda's brother insults Professor Faraday. The Seventh Doctor calls out for Professor Faraday. Professor Faraday introduces the Seventh Doctor to Kalinda's brother. The Seventh Doctor informs Kalinda's brother of their location. The Seventh Doctor reveals his plan to Kalinda's brother. A Dalek issues an order to another Dalek. Professor Faraday meets some Daleks. The Seventh Doctor throws something at these Daleks. The Seventh Doctor convinces Kalinda's brother to help him. Professor Faraday mentions his wife as well as his extended family. The Daleks remember who the Doctor is. The Seventh Doctor tricks these Daleks. These Daleks attempt to find and exterminate the Seventh Doctor. Sorry, it's a bit wordy. It's a long one. Professor Faraday attempts to get his head around both Kalinda's brother and the Seventh Doctor originating from the future. The Seventh Doctor asks to be set free. The Seventh Doctor mentions his and Kalinda's brother's previous encounters. The Seventh Doctor reminds Kalinda's brother of the Daleks' true powers. The Seventh Doctor reveals to Professor Faraday where the Daleks and Kalinda's brother have been transported to. Professor Faraday corrects the Seventh Doctor about the location of the Daleks. A Dalek issues an order to a Robo-Man. This Dalek questions someone. The Sixth Doctor wakes up in a prison cell. The Sixth Doctor attempts to work out where he is. Someone corrects the Sixth Doctor. The person communicating with the Sixth Doctor reveals he is unable to see. This person wants to be a Robo-Man. The Sixth Doctor attempts to reassure Kalinda's brother. Kalinda's brother attempts to imagine he's somewhere he isn't. The Sixth Doctor mentions melted chocolate. Kalinda's brother comes clean to the Sixth Doctor about his past actions. Kalinda's brother mentions his granddad. The Sixth Doctor gives Kalinda's brother some advice. Kalinda's brother yells at the Sixth Doctor. The Sixth Doctor apologises to Kalinda's brother. The Sixth Doctor reveals his true identity to Kalinda's brother. Kalinda's brother remembers the advice the Eighth Doctor gave him. Kalinda's brother says goodbye to the Sixth Doctor. The Robo-Man gives Kalinda's brother some instructions to follow. Some Daleks manage to get on the same page. The Dalek Prime mentions the Doctor. Kalinda's brother reveals a theory about the Doctor's involvement in their lives. The Sixth Doctor communicates with Kalinda's brother. The Sixth Doctor asks Kalinda's brother to do something. He agrees. The Sixth Doctor explains what is going on to Kalinda's brother. The Sixth Doctor introduces Kalinda's brother to his TARDIS. The Sixth Doctor comes clean to Kalinda's brother. The Sixth Doctor attempts to reassure Kalinda's brother. The Sixth Doctor reveals that the Robo-Man is Kalinda's brother's granddad. Kalinda's brother attempts to come to terms with this. The Dalek Prime finds the Sixth Doctor. Kalinda's brother apologises to the Sixth Doctor. The Sixth Doctor attempts to trick the Dalek Prime once again. This doesn't quite go to plan. The Fifth Doctor explains something to Magran. The Fifth Doctor recognises Dalek ships. The Fifth Doctor questions Magran. Magran comes clean to the Fifth Doctor. Kalinda's brother attempts to deliver an order until the Daleks reappear. Kalinda's brother confesses to being the person that communicated with the Daleks. Kalinda's brother agrees to help the Fifth Doctor. The Fifth Doctor and Kalinda's brother meet a future version of Kalinda's brother. Someone attacks Kalinda's brother. Kalinda's brother mentions meeting the 6th, 7th and 8th Doctors. Kalinda's brother introduces the Fifth Doctor to the Special Weapons Dalek. Kalinda's brother attempts to explain himself to the Fifth Doctor. The conversation between the 5th and 8th Doctors can be reheard. The 5th Doctor suggests that Kalinda's brother join him in his TARDIS. Kalinda's brother refuses. The 8th Doctor asks the 5th Doctor to leave. Kalinda's brother, the 5th Doctor thanks Kalinda's brother. Kalinda's brother orders the Robo-Man to kill the Daleks. A Dalek exterminates Kalinda's brother. A Dalek exterminates Kalinda's brother. Kalinda's brother is looking for a version of the Doctor. Kalinda's brother learns that he is dead. The 5th Doctor informs Magran what he has done. The 5th Doctor has worked out that the 8th Doctor is the 8th Doctor. The 8th Doctor attempts to explain to Kalinda what caused the Daleks to vanish. Another Dalek has vanished. The 6th Doctor sings a song. The 6th Doctor says goodbye to the Dalek Prime. Kalinda asks the 8th Doctor about her brother. The 8th Doctor attempts to reassure Kalinda. Kalinda thanks the 8th Doctor. The 8th Doctor returns to his TARDIS. The 5th, 6th and 7th Doctors are now all inside the 8th Doctor's TARDIS. The 6th and 8th Doctors argue. The 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th Doctors repeat the same sentence and say goodbye to each other. That is my recap of the 4 Doctors from Big Finish. In tomorrow's episode, we're going back to How I Met Your Mother, because in tomorrow's episode I am recapping How I Met Your Mother Season 1 Episode 3, titled Sweet Taste of Liberty. Back to this episode, let me know what you thought of the 4 Doctors if you listened to it. My recap, if you didn't, you can put your thoughts on both of those in the comments below. As well as anything else you want me to go in the channel, such as any previews or recaps, put those in the comments below as well. Remember, you can also like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode for my recap of How I Met Your Mother Season 1 Episode 3, titled Sweet Taste of Liberty. Goodbye.